Welcome back to Skinnybru Rugby. If you're new to the channel, I do predictions on Super Rugby scores for the week, and I also predict who's going to be key players for the weekend. This weekend's going to be an interesting one. There's one New Zealand derby and there's one South African derby. Before I get into it, go to the bottom and you'll see the subscription button. Please click that and press the bell icon if you want to get notified when I post something. You can also go to the description below to go to the Superbru pools to join that, or to go to the Facebook page if you want to get notified when I post on there. Yeah, let's get into the games. The first game for the week is the Hurricanes versus the Crusaders. It's been a great season for the Hurricanes. They've had one loss in the second week and then they drew 2 weeks ago, meaning they have a competitive edge to them. And then the Crusaders, they lost their first game last week. Mahunga did not play. He is back this week. He does bring a bit more attacking spirit to that team, but his goal kicking has been poor, only kicking over 50% of his kicks. Likewise, Barrett, he hasn't had the best kicking display, with only kicking 77% over of his kicks. You don't know if that's the route the All Blacks are taking. They are taking these attacking number 10s. They don't need to necessarily kick over that much, or are these two working on it? Who knows. Mahunga was kicking better last season. Then for the Hurricanes, Laumape is back. He has been the best centre this season, and it's good to see him back for this crucial game, meaning Jordie Barrett is back on the wing, his least preferred position. He doesn't get much of the ball there, but you have to know if he gets the ball on the wing, he is still going to try and score those tries. Then I think the Crusaders will look better, especially with Kieran Reid being back, the captain of that side. He brings a lot more edge to that team, and the Crusaders will really want to win again. That being said, both of these teams have been very competitive this season. It's a very difficult one to call. I think the Hurricanes will win this one by 3. These are the players to look out for in this game. The second game for the week is the Waratahs versus the Sunwolves. This is the second time they are playing. The previous one, the Waratahs just won, I think, by 1 point. The Waratahs are favourites for this one, winning 3 out of their 5 games, where the Sunwolves have only won 1 out of their 5 games. And the Sunwolves have had 3 losses in a row now, so that's going to weigh them down. The Waratahs are looking a lot better now that Falau is being picked on the fullback again. That's where he is very dangerous. But the Waratahs have made a couple of changes. They changed their number 10. Mac Mason is starting. I'm not sure who that is. I haven't seen him play. I did look up a few videos and I didn't see anything that spectacular from him. Then they also have picked Harry Johnson Holmes again on the prop. Like I said, he's impressed me this season. He's playing well. Then for the Sunwolves, they have a few key players that really make that team tick. Dan Pryor, Warren Wasayoko, Parker and Jamie Booth. Either of these players do really well if they start or if they come from the bench, so they are key players for that side. That being said, I think the Waratahs will win this one by 12. These are the players that you should watch out for in this game. Then it's the Blues versus the Stormers. The Blues will have a point to prove. Likewise, the Stormers will want to prove that they can beat the New Zealand team after coming very close last week against the Hurricanes. The Blues have lost their first 3 games and then they won 2 in a row now, including that one against the Highlanders, which will give them a lot of confidence. And the Stormers, they came close against the Hurricanes. a lot of the things that went wrong in that game was due to SP Mare tackling really poorly on the wing. But on the other side, he's one of their best kickers. If it wasn't for him, the Stormers won't even be in it this season. That's the problem I have, because SP Mare has been put on the bench this week with Willemse coming in on the fullback and Lades shifting to the wing. So we don't know how they are going to perform. That backline looks a lot more attacking when SP Mare is not there. But if there's a game you need someone that kicks penalties, SP Mare is your man. The Blues, they won't be the same without the two Ioane brothers. And Rico Ioane, he just scores every game, and Akira, he makes that running meters and makes gaps for the guys around him. Etzebeth is back for the Stormers. That's a good sign with all those other locks being injured. I think there was 3 guys in a row that got injured last week. So they'll be happy with him being back from his concussion. Then I think the Blues will win this one by 7. These are the players to look out for in the game. The fourth game for the week is the Reds versus the Rebels. The Reds have won 2 of their 5 games, where the Rebels have won 3 of their 5 games. The Rebels will really want to win again because they lost both of their games over in South Africa and they are back in Australia now. The Reds, they really beat the Brumbies convincingly last week. Maybe that's a sign for better things to come this season further. They really showed what they can do. No one expected that victory. The Rebels really would want to win again after those 2 losses. The backline for the Rebels are just dangerous. I can go through the whole backline. Guinea, Cooper, English, Meeks, Maddox, all those guys are looking very dangerous for them, and all of them have been picked, so they are fronting up their best side to get a win again. Then the Reds, they have a few dangerous guys. Even if they come from the bench, they make an impact on the game. Tupou, McDermott, Karevi, they are all dangerous players. But I think this one will go to the Rebels. They will want to win again. I think they'll win by 8. These are the players to watch for the game. Then it's the South African derby, the Sharks versus the Bulls. Both teams have won 3 out of their 5 games, but the key to remember here is the Sharks haven't beaten a South African side thus far this season. The Bulls have beaten the Sharks previously in Pretoria this season by 23 points. Last week the Bulls really got a hammering from the Chiefs. I don't think they were expecting such an attacking game from the Chiefs, so they'll want to get back to winning ways. Then for the Sharks, the key players have been the Priya brothers, especially with Robert kicking his goals very well. And then Dan de Priya, he's taking the ball to the line and he scores a couple of tries with that. And then talking about tries, Mapimpi for the Sharks has also been scoring a lot of tries. Then for the Bulls, Brits and Vermeulen, both of them are playing. Without Vermeulen last week, when he went off in the 25th minute, I think the Bulls front back did lack a bit of competitive edge. Brits was there, but he was the only older guy in the team. The rest of the front back was pretty young. I've been impressed with Kriel this season on the outside centre. He's running very good attacking lines, and I think he's at the moment one of the best centres in South African rugby. So I think the Bulls will win this one by 9, even though it's away from home. These are the players that you should look out for this week. Okay, the last game for the weekend is the Jaguares versus the Chiefs over in Argentina. This one can go either way. It's a difficult one to call. The Chiefs have one draw 2 weeks ago, and then they won last week against the Bulls by 36 points, and further they've just lost every single game. Is that a sign of them improving now? Because I think if they want to get their season back on track, they need to win every single game. And Mackenzie and Retallick, this is the perfect time for them to be back in form now, especially with Retallick getting that front foot ball for them, and then Mackenzie just makes those runs on the perfect angle just to get all the gaps and make tries for the team. He has been very impressive with his chip kicks over the line, just in front of the opposition's try line, to get guys like Nankivell in for tries. The Jaguars, they also need to win again. They lost the last 2 games, but they are a different side when they play in Argentina. The last New Zealand team they played this season, or the only one they played, were the Blues. They beat them by 4 points, so that was a close one. But that shows they can beat New Zealand teams, even though the Blues are traditionally the weakest New Zealand side. A guy to look out for the Jaguars is Moyano. He's a dangerous player. He does make an impact for them from the bench, the hooker. Even if he comes from the bench for Creevy or he starts, he does, to me, he's the best hooker at the moment in Argentina. Creevy was always the best hooker, but he is losing a bit of his competitive edge now that he's getting a bit older. This is a very difficult one to call, so I'd go with my gut feel. I think the Jaguars will win this one by 3, especially with the Chiefs having travelled a lot now. They were in New Zealand and they came over to South Africa last week, and now they're going to Australia, so it's a lot of travelling. This is the final team to look out for this week. Okay, that's it for the week. From next week on, I'll be able to edit my videos again, hopefully, or edit it a bit better because my computer is back with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and press the bell icon down here, and join the Superbru pools in the description below. See you next week for the review video. Cheers.